Hey guys, welcome back. I'm Kens and this is Red. We are on video 2 of our interview of a first-time ACOTAR reader. Welcome to the Spicy Bus. Spicy Bus? The Spicy Book Nook. Wow, that was
been a long couple weeks.
Welcome to the Spicy Book Nook. We're going to get started. Okay, just a little bit of a recap. Do you remember who your favorite character was?
I said Tamlin. And
we'll get there in a second. Don't say anything else. We'll get there in a second. Her favorite character was Tamlin. I just want to say that loud and clear.
Was with a big star.
I just want to... Hey, she liked Tamlin, guys. And what did you think of book 1?
So, to recap, I don't read a lot of books. I've read probably 6 books now in the last month or so, thanks to Kenzie right here. But before that, I hadn't picked up a book in probably 10 years by choice. So that first book, I was like, wow, this is 10 out of 10. This is fantastic. It has now been demoted to like 3 of 5 because the second one I thought was so much better. It was really good.
Okay, one of my lifelong wishes is to be able to read A Court of Mist and Fury all over again. This is like, I call them God tier books because I just absolutely love this book. And I love the emotional twists and turns that are in it. And the reveals are just... So, let's get into it. Ready? How do you feel after reading the second book?
I am so very happy that it was as amazing as everybody said it was going to be. I was reading this at my place of work, and I had many people, oh my goodness, like, tell me what you think of it. That's such a good book. And I was like, okay. I mean, I hadn't gotten to anything good yet. I was on page like 3 when I had 2 people in one day tell me that that book was amazing. Got through it. And I was like, wow, this is amazing. But now I'm worried that the next ones aren't going to be as good. You can't all have amazing books. I know all of them will be great. But this one's going to be really hard to top.
There is a reason why there is a cult following of Sarah J. Maas and her writing. Just saying. Like, I'm not trying to give away anything, but like, there is a reason.
So it's going to get even better?
I don't want to say that because A Court of Mist and Fury is like that book for me.
Okay.
A Court of Silver Flames is also really good. A Court of Wings and Ruin really wraps things up. So, yes. You will see.
All right.
You will see. You will see. Okay. So, you liked it.
I did. Very much.
Okay. Okay. Who is your favorite character now? Reese. Resand. Like Reese's Pieces. Resand.
I refuse to call him by what he is supposed to be because he has rise to me in this book. That is how I've been reading it. Resand. Amazing. 10 out of 10.
My man. You know what's really cool too? In the next book, you're going to get a lot more character depth from him. Which...
More?
Yeah.
Like, I know a lot.
He is.
I mean, I know he's old. So, like, there's probably a lot to dive into there.
You're getting a lot more character depth.
Okay.
Okay. Who's your least favorite character?
Well, it starts with T and ends with Amlin.
That took a turn real quick. You want to explain why?
In the first book, the reason why I liked him so much was poor Farah had just been like scrounging around, you know, living for her sisters to live. And then this man, you know, takes her away, doesn't look good at first, but all of a sudden now she has all this food and she has things to wear and things to do and all these nice people and, you know, stuff. I don't know. I was like, this is such a nice change for her. I think she deserves it. And then, man locked her in house prison after this woman who had been, you know, basically living on her own, providing for her family. She was this fierce hunter, this fierce independent woman. And then, you know, after she saved him from under the mountain, I have to emphasize that she, a mortal human, saved this, you know, Lord, beautiful, strong human being from Amarantha. All of a sudden, he's like, you are just a little baby, feeble woman. You cannot do anything. You must stay home. You cannot go with me.
You are my possession.
You are nothing but my trophy wife who will never be a high lady. You are just going to be like night court. What was it? Or day?
Spring?
Spring? Phrase?
Oh, I don't know.
Lady of the spring court.
There you go.
That's what it was. There were no high ladies. I was like, okay. But then this man locked her.
How'd you feel about the wedding?
Oh my goodness.
How did you feel? Like, before you really knew what was going to happen, how did you feel about the wedding?
It was forced. It definitely felt forced, especially with the lady who was designing the dress.
Is it the...
She was not as important as I thought she was. The very beginning. Like the one person that kept Farrah company when Tamlin was just doing whatever.
Ianthe?
Yes. Like I can say that and remember it correctly. Yes. But I had kind of like weird feelings about her, but she very much took control of everything. Now Farrah was pretty absent. I mean, she was not there. She was traumatized.
Yep.
Trying to just survive. But she was not happy. You could just
how did you feel about the night court or the Night Lord immediately, the Lord of the Night Court?
Well, so at the end of the first book, when they had that conversation, when they got out of the mountain, I was like, okay, you know what? This seems like a pretty normal conversation. Just be okay. Not bad, not good, just existing in each other's presence. What did you ask me?
How'd you feel about him?
That's
after
right.
he stole her from the wedding?
After he stole her from the wedding, I was like, oh, this is good. Whether she wants to admit it or not, I know it'll be good for her. I could feel it. And then learning about the tattoo and like the bridge that she can send things down, the fact that he was always listening, whether he had a choice or not, kind of whatever. But he came in, saved her. She was begging. She was pleading to get out of there. Like, homegirl, I thought she was going to just like keel over. But he swooped in. And Tamlin didn't really do anything to stop him. Now, I know that the phrase was given of, it's a like Fae promise or a deal or whatever. It can't be broken. But he was just kind of like, yeah, all right, see you next
time. Do you find out what happened between Rhys and Tamlin yet?
Like murdering each other's families?
Okay, so you do know.
Yes.
Yes.
I don't remember details. I read this book a couple weeks ago. Spent some time. But yeah, they both like killed each other.
Okay. I couldn't remember if it was in this book or the next one. Okay. Yeah. Okay, and how did you feel about Rhysand is my favorite High Lord?
So good. The fact that the first thing he did, he was like, all right, like you're going to learn to read. Because as someone of importance, you need to learn to read. No one in the Spring Court thought to maybe educate this girl. Like, hello?
She was just going to be a person.
It makes me so
just
mad.
An accessory.
So, of course, Rhysand is like, you must write that I am so handsome and I am so lovely. And I was like, what a corny, silly little thing. But it, she became literate after 3 or 4 months. And I'm like, that's not really. But I'm glad that now she could read and do all these things. But I think it gave them something to, whether they wanted to or not, like to bond over. Because then later on when they're passing notes back and forth, that's cute. I liked it.
Okay. How did you feel about when he first introduced her to the City of Dreams?
I was not prepared for him to just be like, okay, if you're going to come with me on my little trip, you can't tell anybody. And she said, yeah, okay. And then he takes her to this sacred place of 5,000 years of pristine whatever. And I was like, sir, like you took a big risk on her. That was before I knew that they were mates. I was like, man, like, oh, it was a big jump. Like, well, what if she just decides to go back to Tamlin and be like, there's this place of dreams. Didn't happen. Did not happen, thank goodness. I was worried in the moment.
The City of Dreams, Valaris.
Mm-hmm.
Just happiness. Like, that right there solidified Rhys through and through. He was the better man.
Mm-hmm.
A little bit before that, but like that. Take me away. Honey Bunch, take me away. Take me away. Take me away. Okay. So, how do you feel about Reese's Court?
Okay, I'm gonna repeat that it's been a minute since I've read the book, but I like that they're all bonded by trauma. But they are such wonderful people in here. Whether I know what
More?
not more. One who's not really a
Amryn?
person. Amryn, even though she is probably some like crazy vile creature, she is still very sweet. She cares. They all care so much about Rhysand, about each other. It's really wonderful. Like I did say that the scene with Farah painting and then more coming in and being like, I see that, those are these people's eyes and this is for this person. Like she was able to see that. Alludes a lot back to the first book where Farah was like, man, do my sisters did they scrub it off? Do they even care? She's validating her painting, which sounds simple, but for Farah, it was probably a huge moment.
Okay. How do you feel about the Bat Boys?
The Bat Boys?
Have you not heard that yet?
No.
They're the Bat Boys.
I have not heard that. I feel like I didn't learn too much about them as in depth. I probably did. I just forgot. I mean, I like
you don't
them.
forget when you learn about the Bat Boys.
Well, I did learn a little bit.
I love them.
I might have to read. But I like that they give off these like big tough guy vibes, but
And then they have fucking snowball fights.
They're little softies.
Fucking snowball fights.
You gotta keep it fun. It can't all be stress and war.
Especially when you're that old.
Right? They're how old?
Like 5,000 years old. 500 years old.
Okay.
Something like
I'll
that.
go with that second number.
Something like that. Okay.
Some of their backstories are like, it's sad how they all like came to be in that little camp. But I'm glad that they found each other.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. So, how'd you feel about the cliffhanger?
Ooh. So I'm going to backtrack a little bit before we get up to that. I thought the whole, them sneaking into the castle, I thought there was going to be so much more. Now, I know it was kind of a trap. There weren't any people trying to fight them because the king wanted them all alive. Tamlin, of course, wanted Farah alive. But I wanted more from that whole scene, that whole experience.
Really?
I did.
Okay. Why? Like, what more did you want from it?
I just like the way that the book had led up, I thought it was going to be this big battle. Like action-packed, crazy, but it wasn't that.
Okay.
I don't know. It just wasn't what I was expecting. So I went into it like, okay, not what I pictured. But having both of her sisters turn Fae, which is supposed to be like this rare thing that's now happened to Farah and her two sisters. And then Lucian, that's my mate, my guy.
Dumbass, sweet little man.
Is that the time for this?
Dumbass,
These poor
sweet
girls are, like,
little
shaking in
man.
this black goo, traumatized, and he's like, yes, that one. I thought that was very
Dumbass,
silly,
sweet little man.
but it made me laugh. Anyways, after that, you asked me about the cliffhanger. Them getting whisked away, and then Farah faking the whole. Oh my gosh! Like,
hang on. How did you feel when you thought the bond was broken?
Oh my goodness! So you were sitting next to me as I was reading this,
I
I had some little tears just because I was like, "There's no way, But then, when I figured out that Farah was faking it, and she was hoping that the others would catch on, there was a tiny sliver of me. I was like, they are not gonna know it's fake. Like I was afraid that they thought the bond was truly broken. Farah hated Rhysand and all these, and she really went back to Tamlin. That was all genuine, and I was like, please God, do not let them think that. But Rhysand figured it out. Hearing that a bond can't be broken. Thank God. Thank God.
How did
her covering it with the glimmer? Lucian's onto her. He knows. He hasn't said anything. I know that he knows based on the last couple pages.
How did you feel of High Lady of the Night Court?
Oh my goodness. I did have to go back and just like make sure that I heard that right because Tamlin said that wasn't a thing. And then Rhysand
They're
was
fucking
like,
high lords. They can make
whatever.
anything.
No, just a little.
She's just a little possession.
She can't do anything by herself.
Butthole.
Rhysand, like, you are my equal. You and I, we are our own people. The fact that he always gave her choices, he was like, you can do what you want. It's your choice. He says the word like your choice 20 times in the book.
This book, the first book didn't really have a cliffhanger. Welcome to the last 100 pages of a Sarah J. Maas book. This is how the rest of them are.
I have to wait for that very last book.
I don't think 6 is or 5. I technically is the last one.
Oh,
I'm pretty sure. I don't know. I don't know. Anyway, okay. So, what would you rate this one?
okay. The last one I'm demoting from 5 to a 3. This one, I feel like it has to be a 5.
It's a 5-star book for me.
Okay. The last podcast, I feel I was a little ambitious. I was learning. Didn't know how to hold
It was
the
her
mic,
first
didn't know how to
fantasy
do
book.
anything. Learned a lot. Now I know things. First one was all right.
You drink and you know things. Okay.
I would love to drink some of that fairy wine. That is.
I'd dance all night.
You do that without.
Okay, so you obviously like this book. Are you going to finish the series?
Well, of
Are you
course.
gonna keep going?
I have been waiting for us to record so I can move on because I can barely remember what I read, a couple weeks ago. If I were to move on,
Okay.
would have forgot everything.
I would be in so much trouble if we didn't talk about chapter 54. That is the mate chapter.
Okay.
How did you feel?
I feel like I need to refresh. Is that like their initial?
Yeah, it was when he came up to the cabin door and she let him in.
Is that not the paint?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
She had painted the cabin while ignoring him and not letting him come near her. And then Moore finally told him where she was.
Mm-hmm.
And then he came to the door. And she let him in. And how did you feel about when he finally explained everything to her?
I understand why he did not tell her about the mate thing. I get it. She went from like throwing up every night, being underweight. Now all of a sudden she's left her fiance, like all these things. I don't blame him for not wanting to be like, oh, well, by the way, we're actually mates. I think that would have been too much for her. I do get her frustration as they became closer. Maybe you should have brought it up sooner.
The one bed in the inn.
That was cute.
Yeah, real cozy.
Didn't have a choice. Big ass wings in the way.
I mean, they had a choice with their fingers.
Okay, yeah, I wasn't talking about that. Yeah, no, when he laid it all out, yeah, this makes a lot of sense. Going back to the first book, the summer solstice.
When he said, I've been looking for you.
Thank you for finding her. I squealed. I was like, oh, okay. I like that she keeps alluding back to things in the previous book. Like those small little details. Incredible.
Mm-hmm.
And then she like lays down the bowl of soup or whatever, and she's like, then eat. Yeah.
And he's like, do you know what this means? She's like, yes, I understand.
Eat the soup.
And then there's lots of sex.
And they're like, okay, now you're high lord, high lady, all these certificates and marriage and everything. So good. So good.
That chapter, I was like, yes, daddy. You win. You win. I love him so much. He's one of my favorite Sarah J. Maas characters.
Out of all of them?
Out of all of them. Their relationship is not my favorite. The relationship in Throne of Glass is my favorite.
More thrones. Great.
That one is my absolute favorite. But he, one of my favorite characters.
So
He's
logical. Like, I feel like a lot of characters, in one way or another, they lack some form of like cognitive functioning, common sense, something or other. But he is a pretty well-rounded individual.
And he's got demons. I don't know if you've seen his demons yet. That might be in the next book. Okay, so that's mostly in the next book. So like I said, you'll get a lot more character development from him in the next book. And I will say, your disappointment about there not being anything crazy, that's literally the whole next book. It's the finale of Reese and Feyre.
Finale?
Mm-hmm.
2 more books.
Mm-hmm. You'll see what I mean.
That does not make me excited.
You will see. You will see. You will see.
So good.
He's my favorite. But anyway, that was A Court of Mist and Fury. We will be back when she finishes A Court of Wings and Ruin. I don't think we're going to do one for A Court of Frost and Starlight because I hated it. If I could it out, I would.
I'll read it.
You need to read it.
If I am like,
You need to read it. It won't take you long. It'll take you less than like a couple hours.
I will read it. Probably won't make a video on it.
No video on it because it's just a happy little blah, blah, blah.
Christmas.
So, but after that, A Court of...
That's that thick one.
Yeah, I forgot the name of it. Silver Flames. There we go. A Court of Silver Flames is the last one that's come out, and we will be doing that one, and I'm really excited for you to get there. It is a thick one, but it is a good one. Good one. But anyways, that is all for now. Thank you guys. If you enjoyed this, like, subscribe, and we will see you in A Court of Wings and Ruin.
Bye.
Bye.
When you look my way, it gave me shivers.